What's going on YouTube? It's the Man of Dorks here. My name is Jeremy, and today we're going to be bringing you another Dorks analysis episode. Today we are going to be breaking down another commander and going through its details, all of its effects, and just seeing the overall strength or weakness of the card and give it a grade. As always, you are welcome to comment your opinions and let us know a commander you would like graded, and we will happily do so. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Today, we are going to be breaking down Dionus, Elvish Archdruid, a mono green commander with 1 green, 3 generic CMC, legendary creature Elfdruid from Jumpstart as an uncommon, as a 3/3 body, and also gives all the elves you control a static effect, which is really nice. So let's break it down. Elves you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped during your turn, untap it and put a 1/1 counter on it. This ability only triggers once each turn. So during your turn, you can get extra value from your mana dorks or anything that would result in you tapping, even attacks. During your turn, if you tap to attack, it'll untap, get a 1/1 counter on it, making it bigger and harder to block. Now, the downside is it does work only during your turn, and that can be a hindrance in some things. But we look at the overall picture. So the downside of being a mono green commander, you are stuck with green source of cards or colorless cards. So you have to build your strategy around Dionus. It's a straight mono green elf ball that you'd want to swarm the board with, like mana dorks or anything that taps to give you something out of it, and just extra value. So we go through like some synergy, what makes it good, what makes it not so good. So the not so good part, it's mono green. We established that. So you're limited on your card pool in terms of color, but at the same time, you can still do a lot of profit with just that color. So with Dionys's effect, mana dorks like Priest of Titania, Elvish Archdruid, and Circle of Dreams Druid, all those cards that tap for mana will untap, get a 1/1 counter, and then you can tap them again and double your mana value. And then you have other cards that will say, let's say your Arbor Elf. You can tap him to untap a forest, and then he'll untap, getting a 1/1 counter, and you can tap him again to untap another forest. So you can pump him up, get more lands, and just ramp up to what you need. Now, the downside of it is it's only during your turn. So it's all sorcery based during your turn. So it's a sorcery style play. All the actions you're going to make is during your turn. You do have access to like tutors to help the deck, like Elvish Harbinger, Worldly Tutor, Crop Rotation, Summoner's Pact. You have all kinds of different stuff to help you get what you need to make Dionus flow. But all in all, it's a very glass cannon style deck. You need Dionus to make your elves bigger and do the damage to kill. So we're going to break down and go through everything and give it a grade. And you guys are welcome to tell us what you think. So for CMC, 1 green, 3 others, it is a 4 CMC. Normally that would be a mid-range style commander. It takes a minute to get it out. But in a mono green elf deck, you normally have quite a few mana dorks and ways to ramp your lands really quick. So relatively easy to bring out in mono green. But with a 4 CMC, if you don't open the ramp, minimum turn 4, if you don't have a mana dork, but you make all your land drops. So turn 4, so that's definitely a mid-range creature. And that's not the best. Its power and toughness is 3/3. It's mediocre power and toughness, can be lightning bolted. So it doesn't have really good survivability in terms of toughness. If it was a 3/4, it'd have a little bit more survivability. And so it's really easy to get rid of. So mediocre power and toughness, not the greatest. And then its effects its effects actually really nice. Not the strongest, not the weakest. And so it's all about elf synergy, and it gives your creatures that static ability to untap them when they become tapped during your turn once, and you can put a 1/1 counter on them. So it makes them bigger during your turn if you tap them for dorks, eventually leading to out of control attackers or blockers. But she also has to survive on the board to allow the pumping on your creatures to continue to grow. So sorcery style speed of effects that requires your elves to be tapped during your turn to untap them to get the counter. So very specific style of play you need to do to give it the effects to pop off, but not the worst. All in all, and then its color is mono green, so you're stuck to the green card pool, but there are a lot of powerful green spells and enchantments, stuff like that, to help you get what you need. So you don't have access to the best removal in terms of like destroy creature, destroy permanent, like white does. You can't counter stuff like blue, and you don't do a lot of damage like red. But you do have ways to make your stuff bigger. You have artifact and enchantment hate that you can add. But it's just, you have to find the right cards for the right CMC in your color pool. And with it being monocolored, it really does hurt sometimes. So going down the list, it's CMC. We will give that a B because of it being a 4. You need mana dorks for it to come out quick, and if you can't get it out, you can't get your mana dorks powered up, you can't get your other elves powered up, and that's what the deck relies on. We will give its power and toughness a B as well, due to the fact that it is a 3/3, so it has potential to survive, but it can be bolted. And then its effects, it is a very nice static effect that only works during your turn, but giving the ability to untap your creatures after you attack with them and give them +1/+1 counters is actually really nice. So we will give the effect for its style of this creature and the color of it, we'll give it a B+. And then as for its color pool, we'll grade that. That is a C, due to the fact that you're limited to one color and one style of play. And overall, it is a B- commander. It's perfect for a casual game. You can make a bracket 3 Dionus deck and compete with bracket 4s. It does have that potential. But at the same time, it's not a CDH commander. It won't go crazy like you can with Lathril, with the access to black and everything like that. But all in all, it is a fun commander. If you're a beginning player and you want to learn elves, Dionus is definitely the way to go. just overall is a great commander for casual players and new players. And yeah, guys, that wraps up our analysis for Dionus. Not the strongest commander out there, but definitely not the worst. A great casual commander. And we welcome any comments that you guys would think on Dionus. Do you think they could be stronger? It could be weaker? And let us know if there's a commander that you would like us to look at and grade. Thanks for watching, guys, and we hope to see you in the next video. Please like and comment and subscribe for more.